Hey, what's going on, guys? John Lee here with another daily news report for Thursday, March 24th, 2022. Let's take a look at your weather. So here in Kansas City, you can see we've got some of this cool air front kind of pushing down out of the north, and that's going to cool us off a little bit today. Looks like we're at about 38 now. It's pretty rainy and drizzly outside, and probably will be for a good portion of the morning. We've got light rain and 75% expected this morning. Tomorrow, we got a high of 55, low of 35. Saturday, a high of 52. These are going to be great days to get outside and do something with the family or get some of that spring cleaning done once and for all. As if we didn't have enough racial tension and division in this country under this Democratic administration, now we have President Joe Biden nominating a black woman for the Supreme Court justice. Now these narratives, I've been listening to this bullshit. We've all been hearing this shit for a while, but this narrative, this ideology that is infecting the young minds of this nation has really got to stop. Take a look at some of the testimony by this Supreme Court justice. Now, you have to remember, people, Supreme Court justices are not elected by the people. So they have this ability to interpret the Constitution and the law so that it applies to all these different circumstances in today's modern world. But what that doesn't mean to me is that these Supreme Court justices has an opportunity. This is not an activist opportunity. This is not how we make policy, is through a Supreme Court justice activist. And I'm not saying that this particular judge is in any way out of line, uneducated, or not a good fit for the job. What I'm saying is that President Joe Biden was determined to elect a black woman as his vice president. He's determined to elect a black woman for the Supreme Court justice. I'm all about equality, but through the workplace is the wrong place for pushing an ideological narrative. We can see the destruction and the turmoil that it's caused and the division that it's caused everyday Americans and communities and families. And this shit has got to stop. This is in the first year of this administration. Let's take a listen to some of the things that are said. Don't forget, drop your comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. It just helps push videos like these out to other viewers like your fucking self.
Does the United States need more police or fewer police?
Thank you, Senator. As you just noted, I have law enforcement in my background, and I am very familiar with the problems that crime causes in the communities where we live.
Okay, Judge, I'm sorry. We have a few minutes here. You have a lifetime appointment at your department. I ask a simple either or question. Does the United States need more or fewer police?
Senator, the determination about whether there should be more or fewer police is a policy decision by another branch of government. It is not something that judges have control over, and I will stay in my lane in terms of the kinds of things that are properly in the judicial branch.
Okay, you don't.
Now that's the thing, she is obviously not wanting to, she's treading lightly. She's basically not wanting to be put in a position of, having to take a stand on one thing or another when she's asked point blank questions. But when it comes to some of these questions, she's very indirect and kind of avoids the question. That's my thing, is why in the fuck does it have to be a black woman? Like, the fact that you are specifically trying to appoint a black woman makes this such an unfair, unlogical, and unethical decision. I mean, it's just appalling to me that we would think that we could appoint these judges who are or have had a history of activism. We don't need people making policies for our community and our country who are not actually lawmakers. And so when these judges get this gray area of interpretation of the Constitution and the law, you know, they can dish out basically different types of cases with different types of results. So basically, that's how these standards are set. That's what case law is all about. It's setting a standard for all the other cases when it gets to the Supreme Court. And, you know, the parts that are unclear, that are left for the interpretation of the judges, you know, that's our due process. And these judges are basically saying, you know, hey, this is the system, this is the way it's set up. I don't know what you want me to do about it. I'm just the judge. You know, it's like, don't shoot the messenger. But it all started making sense to me when this administration has just caused everything to fall apart. And then when I see, you know, our president specifically electing a female black nominee, I mean, it's obviously a racist selection. I mean, if you're selecting them solely based on their gender or their ethnicity or their, anything like that, age, sex, color, religion, it seems to me that like it's a predetermined outcome. And that's the narrative that is being pushed by the far left, is this, you know, equal outcome, not equal competence. If we really want equality, we need to push for the strongest competition known to man and woman. So I don't know if you've been paying attention to Governor DeSantis from Florida, but he just honestly seems like the best, most patriotic American that I've seen throughout this pandemic as it's coming to an end, standing up for the people, truly a representative of the people. And he's not letting this bullshit stand. There's a couple of things that I wanted to cover. DeSantis passed some legislation that would prevent this sexualization education in grades, you know, pre-K through fourth grade, which I think is absolutely fundamental in allowing parents to raise their children the way they see fit and stop infecting our kids with this tyrannical nonsense. We're not going to let other people raise our children. Just because they go to school doesn't mean that you can teach them that all white people are bad. Doesn't mean that you could teach them that they are a boy or a girl, or they have a right to choose their gender at you know, those ages. They shouldn't be exposed to that sort of thing, and I applaud Governor DeSantis for putting his foot down. I'm really thinking about joining a lot of people that have made the move to Florida. Just wanted to show you this little clip of DeSantis standing up for this malarkey. I mean, it's just total bullshit, where these transgenders, you know, are the worst fucking athletes in when they compete as men. And so they totally suck, and it, you know, probably crushes their soul. So what do they do to get to the top? They change their gender. They claim that they changed their gender, and then all of a sudden they have the ability to just completely dominate women's sports and undermine the integrity of the entire female gender. I mean, the whole thing is just bananas. Let's take a listen.
Here, we signed a bill to ensure fairness in women's athletics. We thought it was very important that young girls and women athletes in the state of Florida had the ability to work hard, to realize their dreams, and to compete fairly, whether it's in swimming, whether it's in track and field, you name it. And that's something that was really meaningful to a lot of people in Florida, particularly people like me who are parents of young girls. So that's something that was really important, and we're glad we did that. If you look at what the NCAA has done by allowing basically men to compete in women's athletics, in this case the swimming, you had the #1 woman who finished was from Sarasota, Emin Wyand. She won the silver medal. She's been an absolute superstar her whole career. She trains I mean, to compete at that level is very, very difficult, and you don't just roll out of bed and do it. That takes grit, that takes determination, and she's been an absolute superstar, and she had the fastest time of any woman in college athletics. Now, the NCAA is basically taking efforts to destroy women's athletics. They're trying to undermine the integrity of the competition, and they're crowning somebody else the woman's champion. And we think that's wrong. And so in Florida, I'm going to be later today, because this is a Floridian who I think deserves to be recognized. We're going to be doing a proclamation saying that Emma is the best female swimmer in the 500-meter freestyle, because she earned that. And we need to stop allowing organizations like the NCAA to perpetuate frauds on the public. And that's exactly what they're doing. They are putting ideology ahead of opportunity for women athletes. And I think that there's just some people that are afraid to speak out and say what they're doing, but that is what they're doing. And so in Florida, we're going to be very clear when they try to do things like that, when they try to undermine the integrity of competition, when they try to counteract the ability of women to realize their dreams. We are going to speak out about that, and so we'll be issuing that proclamation, just because, as somebody that was such a great athlete in Florida, has now moved on to the University of Virginia, we need to honor that appropriately. And if the NCAA was willing to actually ensure the integrity of women's competition, she would have been crowned national champion.
Absolutely right. Ron DeSantis, once again, standing up for the people. A man of the people. I mean, I love that guy. I just love that guy, and he really makes me want to move to Florida. Here he is again for the American people. Governor DeSantis telling Disney what he thinks and the world. Let's take a listen.
Companies that have made a fortune of being family friendly and catering to families and young kids, they should understand that parents of young kids do not want this injected into their kids' kindergarten classroom. Our policy is going to be based on the best interest of Florida citizens, not on the musing of Florida corporations.
Exactly. So Ron DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSantis, again, putting his foot down to the big tech, to Disney, saying you're not going to sexualize my daughters, you're not going to sexualize our children, our community. So Disney has a lot of people, employees that are planning this walkout. They don't like the idea. Disney, didn't really want to get involved. They took the stance that they didn't want to get involved and weigh in on this. And so a lot of their employees are planning a walkout, and it's totally fucking absurd. Disney is fucking absurd. Shame on all these fucking people for trying to twist the minds of our young future, of our country and our world. I'm John Lee. If you like videos like these, be sure and hit that like and subscribe button for me. This is your daily news report for Thursday, March 24th, 2022. I'm on to the next one.